I'm Debra Volkland. I live in Olathe, Kansas. Well, I started with white on white. There's some of it in the other room. And the very first show, I was doing so much of it and I was getting so enthralled in it that I was doing too much of it, and my husband said, you know, you either are going to have to do something with this or quit doing it because we're filling everything with this. And it was like, okay. So I entered an art show with it in the Kansas City area, and I won Best of Show. And the very first one that I displayed it in, I thought, well, okay, this is a sign. Maybe I should do more of this. People kept saying, but could we just have a little bit of color? Just a little, maybe just a little touch of red up here or something for color in here. And for a long time, I didn't really want to do that because when you introduce color into it, it changes all your depths, it changes, then you've got your color going besides just your shapes and your textures. But then once I introduced color into it, I couldn't go back. And they seem like ghost pieces to me when they're white on white. These seem like real, living, live pieces that as they are in a room and the lighting changes all day long, the shadows will change. And I've had usually kids come up and go, do you know their eyes move when I'm in here? And it's like, that's cool. Really, they don't, but they'll go back and forth, and so they'll see them move, and it's fun to work with them. It is just paper, but it's an acid-free duplex stock, which means it's two pieces fused together so that I can paint one side. Well, actually, I paint all four sides of it. And that I even paint the edges of the paper, because otherwise you'd get a white line around things and that would disrupt it, and it'd be like a character in a cartoon. So every bit of it's painted all the way through, and then I'll take bone burnishing tools and I'll shape it so that it goes the right direction, and then because it's damp it will stay there, and if it doesn't, I'll use the bone burnishing tool and keep on going with it. I use a lot of acid-free foam core behind it to get it to pop out as much as I want, and I'll use an acid-free silicone glue that once it's set up, it's inert, and it kind of acts as a bumper for it, because I've had these in the studio. Well, this particular piece with the feathers, a friend came over to dinner and said, Deb, when did you start putting feathers in your pieces? And it's like, go put your glasses on and take a look at it. It's all paper. And in the meantime, he got so close to it, it fell on the floor. And it was kind of like, but the glues are the pieces are really, really much stronger than they look, because there's armature behind them with the acid-free foam core and the built-up layers, and they're really quite strong. There wasn't anybody to see who was doing this to know that I wanted to do this. So I've always drawn and painted, and my degree is actually in printmaking. So, but in school, in college, I kind of felt like, okay, you're supposed to paint and it's supposed to be on a flat surface, and you're supposed to use oils and you're supposed to use acrylics. But then it was like, okay, I'm out of school and I'm gonna pop this out and do it on paper and do explosive, and now literally nobody can tell me I'm not filling the criteria of my assignment. So this has kind of been my invention, that other people have done the white on white, but I have not, and maybe it's because my experience is too limited, I haven't seen anybody else do to this extent with the color. And this is all gouache paint, which is a tempera base, and it's very light, stable, and it seems to hold up so that people sometimes will ask me how long will it last, and I'm sure it's going to last past my lifetime, so I'm good to go.